The rain had just begun to fall when Xiao Zhan walked into the quiet corner cafe near Beijing's Chaoyang district. It was the kind of place where time seemed to slow down, dim lights, old wooden tables, and the faint scent of roasted coffee beans. He wasn't here for a meeting, or even for a drink. He was here to clear his mind, to escape the relentless noise of the outside world. But fate had other plans. His eyes were drawn to a black leather-bound notebook lying on the seat across from him. No one else was in sight. The cover was smooth, yet worn at the edges, the kind of wear that comes from being carried around for years. Something about it pulled him in, as if it was silently calling his name. He hesitated for a moment, his fingers hovering over it, before curiosity won. When he flipped it open, the first page was blank. But the second, that's when his pulse quickened. It wasn't just a notebook. It was a confession, a diary, a raw, unfiltered piece of someone's soul. The handwriting was precise, deliberate, but undeniably familiar. He knew this writing. He had seen it on scripts, on sticky notes left in dressing rooms, even on the edge of a guitar case during late-night rehearsals. It was Wang Yibo's. The words on the page were unlike anything Xiao Zhan had ever heard Yibo say aloud. They weren't cool, guarded, or distant. They were painfully vulnerable. I don't know how to tell him, every time I'm close, my courage slips away. But it's been years. And I can't keep this inside anymore. Xiao Zhan's chest tightened. He scanned the next few lines, his breath catching as he realized exactly what Yibo was talking about. The entries didn't mention his name outright, but the descriptions, the smile, the way their laughter always overlapped, the shared glances on set, there was no mistaking it. This was about him. He should have closed the notebook then. He should have respected Yibo's privacy. But instead, he turned the page, each entry pulling him deeper into a world Yibo had carefully kept hidden. Some pages were poetic, describing moments they had shared in ways Xiao Zhan never imagined Yibo noticed. Others were raw, almost painful, filled with the frustration of not being able to say what he truly felt. Then he reached a page that made his hands tremble. It wasn't a diary entry, it was a letter. Addressed to him. If you ever read this, it means I didn't have the courage to tell you in person. I don't expect anything in return, but I need you to know you've changed me. You've made me braver, softer, and more alive than I thought possible. If this ruins everything, I'll accept it. But I hope, maybe it could be the start of something instead. The sound of the door opening startled him. He quickly closed the notebook, tucking it against his chest. And there he was, Wang Yibo, standing in the doorway, rain dripping from his hair, scanning the room with urgency in his eyes. Their gazes locked, and Yibo froze when he saw what Xiao Zhan was holding. The color drained from his face. He walked over slowly, almost cautiously, as if approaching a dangerous edge. You found it, Yibo said quietly, his voice barely audible over the hum of the coffee machine. I wasn't looking for it, Xiao Zhan replied, struggling to find the right words. It was just here. Silence stretched between them, heavy and unspoken. Yibo's usual guarded demeanor seemed to crack, his eyes flickering with something between fear and defiance. Did you read it? Xiao Zhan hesitated, and that was answer enough. Yibo looked down, his jaw tightening, as if bracing himself for rejection. But instead of speaking, Xiao Zhan slid the notebook across the table toward him. You could have told me, Xiao Zhan said softly. All this time, you could have told me. Yibo's lips parted, but no words came out. His fingers brushed the cover of the notebook, lingering there as if afraid to take it back. It wasn't that simple, he finally murmured. We're not just anyone. Every word, every glance, people watch us, dissect us. I didn't want to ruin everything. The rain outside grew heavier, tapping against the cafe windows like an impatient heartbeat. Xiao Zhan leaned back, watching him. And now? Do you still want to keep it hidden? Yibo's gaze lifted to meet his, and in that moment, it felt like the world outside didn't exist. I don't know, he admitted. It's easier to hide. But when I saw it was gone, I realized I'd rather you know than live with this silence. The confession hung between them, raw and unshielded. Xiao Zhan could hear his own heartbeat in his ears. He wanted to respond, to say something that would lift the weight from both of them, but the truth was, he needed time. The feelings that had stirred in him while reading those pages were tangled, surprise, confusion, something deeper he wasn't ready to name. Instead, he stood, walking to the counter to order 2 cups of coffee. When he returned, Yibo was still sitting there, staring at the notebook like it was a bomb that might go off at any second. "I don't know where this will go," Xiao Zhan said as he set the cup in front of him. "But I'm not running away from it." For the first time that day, Yibo allowed a small, almost imperceptible smile to touch his lips. "Then maybe I'm not either." The days that followed were a blur of unspoken tension and small, deliberate changes. On set, their usual easy banter was replaced with longer glances, quieter moments. Xiao Zhan caught Yibo watching him more often, and instead of looking away, he found himself holding the gaze. One evening, a week after the cafe, Xiao Zhan found himself outside Yibo's apartment. He hadn't planned to come, or maybe he had, deep down. The city was quiet, the streets glistening from an earlier rain. When Yibo opened the door, there was no surprise in his eyes, just a quiet acknowledgement that maybe this moment was inevitable. Inside, the black notebook was on the coffee table, open to a page Xiao Zhan hadn't seen before. This one was written after their cafe encounter. He didn't run. That's all I can think about. He didn't run. Xiao Zhan sat beside him, picking up the notebook. "You keep writing," he said, more as a statement than a question. "It's the only way I can make sense of things," Yibo admitted. Without overthinking, Xiao Zhan took a pen from the table and began writing on the blank page opposite Yibo's entry. His handwriting was neat but slightly uneven, a sign of nerves he couldn't hide. "I didn't run because maybe. I was waiting for you to catch up." When he slid the notebook back toward Yibo, their fingers brushed a fleeting touch, but enough to send a jolt through both of them. Yibo read the words, and for the first time, the guarded expression melted completely. The city outside was still, but inside, something had shifted, something that couldn't be undone. They didn't label it. They didn't make promises or declarations. But from that night on, the black notebook wasn't just Yibo's anymore. It became theirs, a shared space where they could write the words they weren't ready to say out loud, a silent conversation that unfolded in ink and paper. Every new page carried pieces of them, fears, hopes, memories, and moments they wanted to keep hidden from the world but couldn't bear to lose. And maybe someday, they would be ready to let the world see. But for now, the notebook stayed between them, a fragile, precious thing that held the truth neither of them could hide anymore. The rain eventually stopped, but the echo of that first day in the cafe lingered, binding them in ways no script, no camera, no audience ever could. It had started as an accident. But the black notebook had changed everything. The cafe was nearly empty, but Xiao Zhan could still hear the rain outside like it was whispering secrets to the glass. Wang Yibo sat across from him, one hand gripping the black notebook so tightly his knuckles turned pale. Xiao Zhan wasn't used to seeing him like this, stripped of his armor, his cool exterior cracking in real time. There was a fragility in Yibo's eyes, as if he was standing at the edge of a cliff and one wrong word could push him over. "Why here?" Xiao Zhan asked suddenly. "Why leave it in this cafe of all places?" Yibo's lips curved into something that wasn't quite a smile. "Because it's the one place I thought you might walk into, and find it." Xiao Zhan blinked, processing the weight of those words. "You wanted me to read it?" "No," Yibo said quickly, shaking his head. "But, maybe I was tired of hiding. And if it was going to happen, I wanted it to happen like this, not through rumors, not through someone else's mouth. Just you. And me." The confession made Xiao Zhan's chest tighten. He had been prepared for accidental loss, for a clumsy mistake. But this was deliberate. Yibo had handed him a key to a part of himself no one else had ever seen. A flash of memory hit Xiao Zhan then, the long filming nights, the way Yibo's gaze would linger when he thought no one noticed, the silent moments between takes where the air felt heavier than it should. Suddenly, so many things made sense. The barista approached with their coffee, breaking the tension for a brief second. Yibo didn't touch his. His fingers kept tracing the edge of the notebook, like he was memorizing the feel of it in case it vanished from his hands. "You wrote things in here," Xiao Zhan's voice softened, "that could change everything between us." "I know," Yibo admitted. His eyes didn't waver from Xiao Zhan's. The question is, do you want it to change? The words hung in the air like a dare. For a long moment, neither of them spoke. Xiao Zhan leaned back, studying him, the way Yibo's jaw tensed when he was nervous, the restless movement of his fingers, the faint vulnerability beneath the sharp lines of his face. I don't have an answer for you yet, Xiao Zhan said finally. But I'm not going to pretend I didn't feel something reading it. Yibo's breath hitched, just barely. He leaned forward, lowering his voice until it was almost a whisper. Which part? Xiao Zhan hesitated, then gave him the truth. The letter. The one you wrote, but never sent. Yibo's expression flickered, like the ground beneath him had shifted. That one wasn't meant to be read. And yet, Xiao Zhan replied, holding his gaze, you left it here for me. Yibo sat back, running a hand through his still damp hair. The movement was restless, almost frustrated. You think I planned every detail of this? That I sat here imagining your face when you read it? Didn't you? Xiao Zhan asked quietly. Yibo's silence was the only answer he needed. Outside, a car drove past, splashing through a puddle. The sound seemed to pull Xiao Zhan back to the present. He reached for the notebook, but Yibo's hand shot out, stopping him. Not yet, Yibo said. If you keep reading, there are things in there you might not be ready to hear. Xiao Zhan didn't back down. And what if I am? Their hands remained there, touching over the cover of the notebook. The contact was electric, not the kind you pull away from, but the kind that roots you in place. The cafe door opened again, letting in a gust of cold, wet air. Yibo glanced toward it, then back to Xiao Zhan. Come with me, he said suddenly. Before Xiao Zhan could respond, Yibo was already on his feet, sliding the notebook into his jacket. He didn't explain, didn't look back to see if Xiao Zhan was following. But Xiao Zhan did. Of course he did. They stepped into the rain, the city lights turning the wet streets into a blur of gold and silver. Yibo walked fast, not saying a word until they reached a quiet side street where the only sound was the rain hitting the pavement. This, Yibo said, pulling out the notebook again, isn't the whole story. There's something you should see, but not here. He led Xiao Zhan into a narrow building, up a set of creaking stairs, until they reached a small studio apartment. It was sparsely furnished, just a couch, a desk, and shelves lined with helmets, skateboards, and camera gear. Yibo placed the notebook on the desk, opening it to a section Xiao Zhan hadn't reached before. Inside were not just words, but photographs, candid shots from sets, backstage moments, blurred images of Xiao Zhan laughing, lost in thought, or simply existing. Each picture had notes scribbled beside it. This was the first time I realized I was in trouble. He didn't know I was watching, but I couldn't look away. If I could keep just one moment, it would be this. Xiao Zhan's throat went dry. He glanced up at Yibo, who was watching him closely, every muscle in his body tense. You've been keeping these? Xiao Zhan asked, his voice somewhere between disbelief and something softer. I couldn't throw them away, Yibo admitted. Every time I thought about it, it felt like losing something I wasn't ready to lose. The air between them was charged now, heavier, closer. Xiao Zhan stepped forward, his eyes locked on Yibo's. You know this changes everything, right? I'm counting on it, Yibo said, and this time, there was no hesitation in his voice. The rain outside intensified, drumming against the single window. Xiao Zhan reached out, his hand brushing the edge of the notebook before sliding to cover Yibo's. Then maybe, Xiao Zhan said quietly, you should let me read the rest. Yibo's jaw tightened, but he didn't pull away. Instead, he turned the page and for the first time, it felt like neither of them was running anymore. Drop your thoughts in the comments, whose side are you on? Like if you felt the tension. Subscribe for more jaw-dropping Wang Yibo and Xiao Zhan stories. Share this with every fan who needs to know the truth.